Yo, 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 what's going on, guys? We're live on both Facebook and Instagram. This is how we're going to bring it to you in 2017. Both platforms, multiple platforms. You can usually catch these videos on my YouTube channel as well. If you haven't subscribed, go over there and subscribe to that. So I want to talk real quick about our goals. Yesterday, I talked about the way that we set goals or set resolutions and how we need to connect them to an emotional our emotional feelings and our purpose, and how we can reverse engineer and understand what our purpose is based upon the goals that we set. So there's always going to be an emotional connection to the things that we want to achieve in life. And our purpose is directly related to the emotions and feelings that we're meant to create and experience for ourselves and to share with other people. So what we have to understand is that to achieve any goal or to create anything in our life, you have to have alignment with a belief. You will never create something or never achieve anything that contradicts a belief that you have. So you have to understand what your beliefs are. You have to create and design beliefs that make the success that you want or the achievement that you want or the result that you want possible. And you have to begin there. You cannot go on a superficial level and create something that contradicts these beliefs. Your mind cannot maintain conflicting beliefs. So, how do we know that? How do we understand? We understand that we create our beliefs. So you created the beliefs that you have at some point in your life. Typically, it was between the ages of 0 and 10. So your beliefs are your definitive knowing of what something means. So something happened in your life. I call it your root trauma. It can be some experience in your life regarding, your own personal value or what you think of the universe, how you accept and receive love, or what is going to help you to avoid pain. And you created beliefs around that. And those beliefs have guided everything that you've done. And I've talked about outdated programming before. Your outdated programming are the limiting beliefs and beliefs that no longer serve you, that are no longer effective. Watch, my boys are killing each other in the other room. So the wife's going to have to get up and go regulate real quick. So you have to understand that those beliefs then create our entire reality. Everything that we know and understand, everything that we do is guided by those beliefs. So if you have had limiting beliefs your entire life, that is what has limited you and kept you from achieving the things that you want. And you protect yourself based upon what these beliefs are. And that's how you act, that's how you proceed, that's how you do all of these things. That's how you show up in the world, is based upon the beliefs that you have. And what's cool is that we get to choose our beliefs. Up until now, the beliefs that you've had, the belief system that has been in your life, was a choice that you made. But you probably did it unconsciously. You did it without this logical understanding of how we design our beliefs, and then our beliefs then create our reality. So now that you know how to do this, or now that you're going to have an understanding of this, you can choose them consciously. You can design beliefs that will create the reality, create the results that you want. You can remove what is disempowering you, replace it with empowering, and it opens up the possibility for you to achieve anything that you want. Yep, it's correct. So what we want to design is empowering. What we want to create must be and must come from an empowering place. So we have to be willing to do belief work if we want to achieve anything. And that is the biggest barrier that people run up against. And, I'm talking about this right now because it's 2017. The year just changed, and people have these goals and aspirations for what they want to achieve. This is a really good time to talk about this, but it's applicable all the time. So if you want to change anything, whether it be a behavior, a pattern, an addiction, the way you show up, it all requires that you go to a deeper level and you check what those beliefs are. And the way that we change our beliefs, again, our beliefs can change. That's what's really cool. People think that, those are my beliefs, those are set in stone. No, your beliefs can change, and you must change them in order to create what you want. So in order to change beliefs, we have to identify what the disempowering or limiting belief is. And it helps to be able to look at that and find out where that came from and why you created that. Because in understanding that, it makes it much easier, it makes it much more plausible for you to disempower that. So the first step is we identify it. Second is we disempower, or we break it down. We pull it apart. We can logically dissect it so that it loses its weight. So, question on Facebook Live. So I know how to look around my existing life and see my beliefs as what I created this past. When you choose new ones, how do you reinforce new ones? Perfect. I'm just about to get to that. So, 1, you identify what it is. 2, you break it down, you disempower it, you pull it apart, you logically disassemble it. So you understand, I made this decision when I was maybe, 5 years old, 4 years old, 3 years old, 6 months old, 10 months old, maybe I made it in high school, about what I'm worth or what the universe means or what something means. And you understand, like, I made that at the time because it's what kept me safe. It was what helped make sense of things. It is what got me love at the time. But now understanding from an adult perspective, I know that that's not true. That maybe, outside circumstances were going on, and it didn't mean that I wasn't enough. It meant that, my parent, maybe they forgot to pick you up from daycare, that they were just running late or they hit traffic. It doesn't mean that I'm not enough or I'm not of value. It doesn't mean that I was forgotten or abandoned. They were just late. So we can see outside perspectives or alternative perspectives or alternative reasoning to the reason we created those beliefs. So then on top of that, after you've identified it, after you've dissected it and disempowered it, third is when you put affirmations in place and you affirm the positive. So I've talked about this before. Affirmations and mantras are really effective, but they're only effective if you do the work before that. And it has to go in this order. It has to be, identify, disempower, and then affirm. Because if you're affirming something that you don't really believe, or that something where there's no room to insert that into your beliefs, then it's not going to be effective. It becomes an empty ritual. But if you want it to be a powerful ritual, you clear that space first, and then you insert this mantra and affirmation. You affirm the positive belief. You affirm the empowering belief. I am enough. The universe is kind and supportive. The universe is abundant, and all I have to do is tap into that abundance. Exactly. Identify, disempower, affirm. That's the process. That's the process with every belief. And when you identify where something comes from, that's a really simple way to do it. And one really cool thing, I don't know how many people are familiar with emotional freedom technology or therapy or tapping. It is a really cool way to do this. And what you do is you identify a belief that is disempowering to you. And you use tapping, which is tapping on meridian points, and using these affirmations to feel the negative, to feel what you want to let go of, and then you affirm the positive. And this process, done consistently over time, helps to make what was once familiar become unfamiliar, and you remove that by replacing it with what was once unfamiliar, making that familiar, and affirming positive beliefs. So you dismantle the I am not enough, and you begin to replace it with I am enough. You dismantle the universe is a cold, cruel place with affirming that the universe is kind, supportive, and has your back, and everything that happens in the world is conspiring on your behalf. And when you shift from believing one thing to the other, anything is possible. You can breathe whatever you want into reality. You can bring that into the world because you fully believe it. And what's cool about doing tapping or belief work is that you get to check in with your beliefs. And if you do this daily, you will feel in your body if what you say is not true. So if I say I am enough, I'm saying that right now and I fucking feel it. I know I'm enough. But there's days where I wake up and I say I am enough. And something here feels heavy. It doesn't feel right. Or there's not alignment with what I've said. So I tap on that and I work through that and I affirm the positive. I may not always identify why I feel that way that particular day, but I'm able to work through that. And then once my beliefs are in order for the day, I can go through and I can fucking kick ass because my beliefs are in alignment with what I want to create. And that is absolutely necessary in order to change patterns, in order to create, in order to move outside of your comfort zone into the growth area, into the ledge. All of that is absolutely necessary. So if we want to create anything, if we want to change anything, we have to check our beliefs. We identify what the beliefs are, we disempower them, and then we affirm the positive. And we replace those. And if you will do this, just this belief work, it opens up a whole new realm. If you have spent 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, 60 years not getting traction in the areas that you want to, or not being able to get progress, it's because your beliefs have not enabled you or empowered you to do so. And if you will do this belief work, this is the core. This is so deep that if you will do this, it makes everything easier. If you've ever had trouble losing weight, there is likely a belief there about your body, about your worth, about your value, that is holding you back and disempowering you from getting the progress that you want. Some people think, okay, there's no connection between losing weight and what I believe. There absolutely is. There's a connection between what you believe and everything. So if you will do this work, if you will do the belief work, and this is one of the things I do with my clients, is teach them to identify where the beliefs are coming from, go in, disempower that, tear those apart, and then be able to affirm them with the positive. Again, affirmations and mantras are amazing. They're powerful. But if you don't do the deep work first, you'll never get there. Where do you believe the power to empower your new beliefs comes from? That's all. It's internally. It's internally. It's that connection to yourself and your source and your higher power. It doesn't come from other places. Because if you look for validation outside of yourself that you're enough, then you're giving your power away. But if you own your power to empower yourself, and you look to your source, you look to that connection to the Creator, to the divine, to your higher knowing, to your higher knowledge, that's where you will find that confirmation. And yeah, you can look for logistical confirmation in your life that you are enough. You can see evidence of that. But there's nothing more powerful in knowing that you are created with a divine and unique purpose, and that you have direct connection, you have direct access to the source, to the Creator of all things, to the organizing power of the universe. That's where the power to empower yourself with those beliefs come from. And again, it takes work. We can understand this, but it takes the willingness to sit with ourselves. It takes the willingness to set boundaries with people so that we have time. It takes the willingness to schedule time to sit with ourselves. It takes the willingness and the fucking courage to allow ourselves this space in these moments. Because what do? We stay busy so that we don't have this time to ourselves. We fill up our schedule. We keep people around us. We do drugs, we do alcohol, we do sugar, we do social media, we consume all these things to keep from having these moments where we get to feel, where we have to feel. But if you want your soul to grow, if you want to come home to your soul, if you want to connect with that, you have to be willing to go to this place. You have to go to the scary place in order to get to where you want to go. I think that's wonderful. I think that's amazing about our human journey, is that we're an infinite soul having a human experience, but in order to reconnect to that soul, we have to go through, we have to move through what is scary to us as humans. And that are those moments of stillness, those moments of quiet, those moments where we have to move through and abandon the things that have kept us safe up until now in the search of the things that we want and desire. So thank you. I appreciate your engagement on Facebook Live and here on Instagram. I see you guys on there. I love you so much. Thank you for engaging. Thank you for consuming. If you have any questions, please send me a DM or a message or comment on this. If this resonates with you, if there's people in your life who need to hear stuff like this, please tag them or share this shit. And I really appreciate you guys. I love you. Here's to a wonderful and happy 2017. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.